I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to each and every one of you. Seriously. I'm so sorry.
I delivered my opinion on a preview from some guy's fickle mindset that I didn't fully agree with that 100%. Give me a break. Now, I find it to be very funny how there are those who are just too quick to judge whenever someone like me delivers their 2 cents on a topic that was started by someone else. Instead, there are those who go by what a journalist says, and they take those words for granted. In return, when people like me who have a second opinion that turns out to be the complete opposite, there are those who will make those people like me feel like a black sheep because of what a more popular person says or what the general consensus is on review gathering sites like Metacritic. For the 1 or 2 people who send me links or videos and trying to prove their point, you are a waste of my time, as showing me stuff like that, or with what big sites say, don't always make me or everyone agree. You have no idea how much stuff like this happens on a daily basis. I have seen games that certain people like that end up getting shafted by critics, and those who believe in them start attacking that particular audience who favors that game day in and day out. Whenever something that catches my interest that I want to try gets to me, I usually end up being sold and wanting to try it out. But even I have seen those who listen to what critics like Tom McShea say, to where they take their word for granted and criticize me for that matter. Guess what I do? I ignore them, because there are times where I feel that I don't trust them. That is being open-minded instead of being closed-minded to what someone who works for a higher authority says. People say that Metroid Other M was garbage. Do I believe them? No, but I can understand why they don't like it. People say that Sonic Lost World, which I reviewed, was something that they didn't like too. Did I believe them? No, but I know why they feel like that towards that game. It's the same thing with Yoshi's New Island, as I actually have the game right now. I'm currently playing it right now and showing you gameplay footage of it, and guess what? I'm actually enjoying it so far. That is my take on the game as to what I have experienced. If you don't like the game, that's fine, as I never said that every single person needs to buy it, as a vast majority of those who dislike Tom McShea's preview didn't share the same opinion as him, and that's why I felt what they felt when he did that preview. Some of you might think that since I never listen to critics, that they all feel the same way. In actuality, I do not, as there are those who are far more honest, open-minded, and more reserved with their personal feelings when they get hands-on with previews and such. I want every single site out there on the internet that does gaming journalism to actually do very well with that kind of thing, as I don't want to wish ill will on them, but I will if I feel that certain individuals act irrational with petty desires and hypocritical beliefs. Now obviously, I feel this only applies to certain individuals who lost touch with what it means to be honest with their followers, as they only want to bring those people to their knees, make their content become nothing but clickbait, and end up getting paid for that kind of thing. Also, in the video, I stated that Yoshi's New Island may or may not turn out to be good, as we didn't know before the game released, as the Yoshi Island games, minus Yoshi's story in my personal opinion, have been more driven with the idea of completing a level at 100% to obtain the harder levels or that secret level at the end of each world, instead of being fully reliable on implementing a plethora of new gameplay mechanics and features that may end up being unnecessary in the long run. As long as the gameplay is solid and polished, I'm fine with that. But the art direction and music, which I know are very important, usually end up being the second or third most important feature in my book. Since the new game is actually good in my eyes as of right now, I know that not everyone is going to agree with me, as I never said in the video that anyone had to. If a game turns out good or bad in the eyes of critics, that's an opinion as much as we deliver. And if the game turns out to be good or bad for an individual gamer like me or you, then so be it. So for those people out there who sent me links and showing me the bad rep that the game got and calling me a hypocrite for my beliefs, I gotta say that the people you need to criticize are those who are diehard Nintendo fanboys, because I'm not even amongst that category, as I know for a fact that there are problems with Nintendo as much as there are problems with both Sony and Microsoft, along with all the third-party companies that are out there in the industry. I say this all the time. Reviewers and critics like Tom McShea is guilty of this fashion too, as his bias for Nintendo is written all over his face with the articles he posts on GameSpot, with the most recent with him believing that Nintendo is going to kill the Wii U with the start of the Quality of Life program, which I and others felt that he wasn't being very logical with his explanation. And people like him, sometimes their reviews or previews on games that they do are at times jaded opinions that differ from everyone else. They'll end up reviewing games where they say stuff like, "This is why this game sucks and you should avoid it at all cost." Or even they'll say, "This is why this game is awesome and you should add it to your collection." And in the end of either of those two explanations, they'll sometimes say, "Buy the game if you like and tell us what you think." And when their followers play a game that a critic says was either good or bad and end up being the complete opposite of what the gamer experienced, does that critic or someone with an opinion have to sit down and try to apologize to everyone for what they said? No. Tom McShea didn't even apologize to those who didn't like his preview, so I too am not going to apologize about it. It happens. New games are always coming out. People's opinions on games are always different at all times, and what the general consensus says about a game being either good or bad in their minds come about. There are those who don't share the average overall ranking on sites like Game Rankings or Metacritic if they actually tried it. I have Yoshi's New Island right now. I am trying it, and guess what? I am liking it so far. Sorry to burst your bubble for those who don't share the same opinion as me, but I got a news flash for you. Those are my personal opinions, and that's just how it is. For those of you who did not pass judgment on me for delivering my opinion about that video, I say thank you for that, and I say thank you for your support and respecting my opinion for that matter too. And I thank you for also knowing the fact that the video, it wasn't necessarily towards that game, as it was more about a man who I felt is misleading those who actually enjoy certain games that they don't like just so they can let those people believe in them and not themselves. Owing to those who still feel bitter, I'm sorry, as I don't know what else to say to you. People always have different opinions. If you can't respect someone's opinion, that's your problem. And if you only come to my channel because you want me to meet your expectations, then I'm sorry, but my channel is not for you. Stay classless. Alright guys, make sure to rate this video as well as leaving your positive and negative feedback down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more content coming from me in the future that you won't find anywhere else. This is Double RPG signing off, saying Godspeed, and game on, gamers. Have a good one.